Sri Aurobindo from the book Letters on Yoga Part 1 from the collective works of Sri Aurobindo, Volume 28, page 144, topic the Supermind or Supramental, subtopic Supermind and other planes. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says the words Supermind and Supramental were first used by me, but since then people have taken up and are using the word supramental for anything above the mind. The highest or true Vijnana is the supramental plane, the plane of the divine knowledge. It is only at the end of the sadhana, when there is the full siddhi, that one can have free connection with that plane. Sri Aurobindo says the supramental is a higher level of consciousness than the mind, in which one gets the direct truth of the Supreme and the whole truth. One can meet the One in the mind, but it is an imperfect knowledge and experience. It is only the supramental that is all knowledge. All below that, from over mind to matter, is ignorance, and ignorance growing at each level nearer to the full knowledge. Below supermind, there may be knowledge, but it is not at all knowledge. Sri Aurobindo says, I have not said that everything is falsehood except the supramental truth. I said that there was no complete truth below the supramental. In the overmind, the truth of supermind, which is whole and harmonious, enters into a separation into parts, many truths fronting each other, and moved each to fulfill itself, to make a world of its own, or else to prevail, or take its share in worlds made of a combination of various separated truths and truth forces. Lower down in the scale, the fragmentation becomes more and more pronounced, so as to admit of positive error, falsehood, ignorance, finally inconscience, like that of matter. This world here has come out of the inconscience and developed the mind, which is an instrument of ignorance, trying to reach out to the truth through much limitation, conflict, confusion, and error. To get back to overmind, if one can do it completely, which is not easy for physical beings, is to stand on the borders of the supramental truth with the hope of entry there. Sri Aurobindo says, if the supermind were not to give us a greater and completed truth than any of the lower planes, it would not be worthwhile trying to reach it. Each plane has its own truths. Some of them are no longer true on a higher plane. For example, desire and ego are truths of the mental, vital, and physical ignorance. A man there without ego or desire would be a tamasic automation. As we arise higher, ego and desire appear no longer as truths. They are falsehoods, disfiguring the true person and the true will. The struggle between the powers of light and the powers of darkness is a truth here. As we ascend above, it becomes less and less of a truth, and in the overmind, it has no truth at all. Other truths remain, but change their character, importance, place in the whole. The difference or contrast between the personal and impersonal is a truth of the overmind. There is no separate truth of them in the supermind. They are inseparable one. But one who has not mastered and lived the truths of overmind cannot reach the supramental truth. The incompetent pride of man's mind makes a sharp distinction and wants to call all else untruth and leap at once to the highest truth, whatever it may be. But it is an ambitious and arrogant error. One has to climb the stairs and rest one's feet firmly on each step in order to reach the summit. Sri Aurobindo says each plane is true in itself, but only in partial truth to the supermind. When these higher truths come into the physical, they try to realize themselves there, but can do so only in part and under the conditions of the material plane. It is only the supermind that can overcome this difficulty. Supermind is not organized in the lower planes as others are. It is only a veiled influence. Otherwise, the supramental realization would be easy. We will continue this tomorrow. These are the words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo.
Tu es, tu vis, tu rayonnes et tu règnes. Atom of matter contains something of thy absolute. Thou art, thou livest, thou art radiant and reignest. नास्ति तत्त्वं गुरोः परं न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानं परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः तामुपैः शरणं तामुपैः शरणं तामुपैः शरणं श्री अरविन्दो शरणम्
नग्नो निस्सङ्गशुद्धस्त्रिगुणविवहितो ध्वस्तमोहन्धकारं नासागरे न्यस्तदृष्टिः विदितभवगुणो नैव दृष्टः कदाचित् उन्मन्यवस्थया त्वां विगतकलिमलं शङ्करं न स्मरामि क्षन्तव्यो मेऽपराधः क्षन्तव्यो मेऽपराधः शिव 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 भोः श्रीमहादेव शम्भो वन्दे गङ्गाधरं शङ्करं वन्दे नेत्रोऽध्यवैश्वानरं वन्दे त्रैलोक्यसारं श्रीपार्वतीवल्लभं वन्दे श्री अरविन्दम्
प्रसीद त्वमदेव परापराणाम परमेश्वरि असमानमां शरणागतं शरणद त्वं रक्ष रक्षाधुना वन्दे देवी जननीं
वन्दे माता सुरधुनीं वन्दे मीरापतितपावनीं